Welcome back to the channel, and today is the preview for Port Vale's game against Barnsley on Saturday at Oakwell. And just before I do the preview, I'd like to give a special mention to the sad passing of one of Barnsley's favourite sons this week, in Dickie Bird. Now, for people who don't know who Dickie Bird is, he was a legendary cricket umpire in the 70s, 80s, and probably early 90s as well. And sadly passed away. He was born in Barnsley at the ripe old age of 92. So I would have thought, with him being one of Barnsley's favourite sons, there'll definitely be a minute's silence for him tomorrow. So Barnsley, what can we say about Barnsley? Always a tough place to go to. And over the years, I looked at the record, and it's quite close, the record against Barnsley, which surprised me, because I would have thought Barnsley would have had more of an upper hand. But over the years, we've won 47 games against Barnsley, we've drawn 20, and we've lost 50. So as you can see, we've played Barnsley on numerous occasions in our club's history. The present run's not good. We've lost the last 4 on the trot, so that's something we need to address. So past games, 3 that stick in my memory. The first one, 1978-79, Boxing Day. Day after Christmas, you're looking forward to the Boxing Day fixtures. We got Barnsley away, looking forward to the game, and typical Vale, what happens? We get beat 6-2. On that day, Vale scorers Ken Todd and a cult hero of the Vale in those days, Jerry Keenan, who was a right back. So yeah, Boxing Day, 1978. Barnsley beats us 6-2. And we haven't got our own back for some of the heavy defeats we've taken against Barnsley. But one I can remember was in the 2004-2005 season, when we played them at home and we beat them 5-0. And on that day, we were magnificent on that day. Billy Painter scored twice, Chris Birchall, and 2 goals from a centre-half who I really liked, who signed from Stockport. On his day was class. And that was Tony Dinning. So that was also in, it was Division 3 in those days, but League 1 as it is now. And when we lost to him 6-2 on Boxing Day, that was in Division 4 or League 2. But the one that sticks in most people's memories, and including mine, is probably the most recent one at Barnsley, when you look back at it. Opening day, the 23-24 season. You go there with optimism, looking forward to the season ahead. And it was a funny old game, that game. Because yeah, we lost 7-0, which sounds horrific. But first off, we didn't play that bad. And then you look at the statistics of the game. They've had 9 shots in the whole of the game and scored 7 goals. So just one of them. And one of their goal scorers on the day, Devante Cole, who scored a hat-trick. Funny how it works, isn't it, football? He's in our side against them tomorrow. So hopefully, I'll be happy if he can just score 1 tomorrow, never mind a hat-trick. But it'll be interesting to see. And when you look, we've come a fair way since that game in the team that we'll be putting on tomorrow. If you look at the team that played in that 7-0 defeat, some of them players, Lewis Cass, he played on that day. Oh my God. Dan Jones, he played centre at left side, centre half that day. Oh my God. Gavin Massey. Oh my goodness. Conor Grant, who gets around the pitch slower than George Byers. He played on that day. And Tom Sang, right-hand side of the back, right wing back on that day. Oh my goodness. So when you look at the side we're putting out tomorrow, Compared to that, it's like night and day. So Barnsley this season, they've had a good start. They're lying 6th in the table. They've had 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, 16 points. And so, when you look at them, it's going to be a tough game tomorrow. But last week, the confidence might have taken a little bit of a hit. They lost in the 98th minute at Blackpool 1-0, and followed that up with a 6-0 home defeat to Brighton in the Carabao Cup. So hopefully their confidence has taken a knock a little bit for when we arrive on Saturday. And players to look out for, who've they got? Well, they've got a good forward line. They've got Davy McGoldrick. Fair enough, he's 37, but he's still banging the goals, and he scored a couple for Barnsley this season. And in his career, for those who don't know, he even had a spell on loan at the Vale. In the 2007-2008 season, 17 appearances and 2 goals. But the forward we've got to look out for tomorrow, I think, is underrated in League One, is Davies Keeler-Dunn. Ex-Oldham, coming to his prime as a footballer now, 27 years of age. And he's a 1-2 man for Barnsley. 50 appearances, 25 goals. And he's their fox in a box. So we've got to keep an eye on him tomorrow. And 2 other players he got, for a mention. You've got Adam Phillips in midfield, always seems to play well against us. Ex-Morecambe, always seems to score against us. So I'll be wounded if he scores on Saturday. And the other one, Luca Connell, more of a City midfield player, but he's a cracking player for them. Tends to pull the strings from deep. So they've got a few players who we need to be wary of on Saturday. So team selection. What do I think Darren Moore will go with, and what would I go with? Well, that's going to be totally different, like usual. I think Darren Moore is going to go Gucci in goal. He's going to go Gabriel on the right-hand side, wing back. Headley on the left-hand side, wing back. Now, his back 3, I've been banging on this channel to have Cameron Humphreys in the middle of the back 3. He's the defender who can distribute, can pass the ball the best, who will be more effective in the middle. And against Arsenal, he played him in the middle of the back 3, and what a difference that made. Distribution-wise, coming out, instead of having Ben Hennigan and Jesse Deborah, having Cameron Humphreys there, gives us an added percentage. And I'll keep saying it's fine lines in this division. But I don't think he's going to do that on Saturday. I think he'll go back to Cameron Humphreys on the right, Jesse Deborah in the middle, and Connor Hall on the left. That's my opinion. Now his midfield. I think he'll go back to the Mansfield midfield. Crowsdale, Byers, and Garrity. And that midfield would be better if he played it properly. But he doesn't. He plays it as a flat back 3, which is ridiculous. So we get no attacking impetus whatsoever. You have to play, if you're going to play that midfield, Garrity behind the front 2. But he doesn't. He plays it as a flat back 3. So we don't get forward quick enough. And when we lose the ball, we just have to sit in again. No attacking threat. Playing it like that. But I think that's what he'll do. Then up front will be interesting, because he'll definitely play Devante Cole. And I've got a sneaky feeling Saturday he's going to put Rory Payton on the bench. And I've got a sneaking feeling he's going to put Ronan Curtis up front. Which again, that'd be the wrong choice. What's my opinion, and we'll see. So what would I do? I'd have Gucci in goal. I'd have Gabriel on the right-hand side, wing back. Mitch Clark's injured again. On the left-hand side, Headley, because Liam Gordon's injured. The back 3, where's Kyle John? Apparently he's injured. But if he's not injured, he has to play on the right-hand side of that back 3. If not, Jesse Deborah, because there's nobody else. Cameron Humphreys has to stay in the middle of that back three to build play and distribute the ball. Connor Hall on the left-hand side of the back three. And the midfield, I'd have none of Crowsdale, I wouldn't have Byers, and I wouldn't have Garrity. The best midfield we've got at that football club, the most effective midfield we've got at that football club, is Funso Ojo, who's probably played the best out of any player in that midfield this season. Reece Walters. Darren Moore didn't even get him in the squad for Mansfield. He played a full 90 minutes against Arsenal and didn't look out of place. Reece Walters has to be in our midfield. Nobody can tell me Reece Walters hasn't played better and isn't a better player than George Byers or Ryan Crowsdale. So Reece Walters, I'd have sitting with Funso Ojo. And I'd have George Hall as the third one in the midfield. But, and it's a big but again, if you watch where George Hall played on Wednesday, I don't want to see that. He was playing in practically as a front just behind the front three on the right-hand side. That isn't George Hall's position. He's not a right winger. He's not a right side of a front three. George Hall's most effective position is what I'm banging on about, just behind the front two. So he can drive with his pace, with his power. He's a goal-scoring, attacking midfield player, not a right winger, Darren Moore. Put him in his natural position. But like I say, it's fine lines. When you look at it, he has to play a midfield three with two sitters and one behind the front two. So hopefully he takes heed from that. And up front, it's a no-brainer. It's Rory Payton and it's Devante Cole. So let's go on to what I think the score's going to be. Well, it's going to be a difficult game. But we've got to start picking points up at these places. It's no use us going through the season thinking, oh, Bolton, oh, Huddersfield, oh, Luton, oh, Barnsley, oh, Bradford. We've got to come to the party. And we've got to pick the right team, right tactics, and look at getting results at these places. When was last time in League One we won a big game away from home? Whew. Charlton. Can't remember one apart from that. I think that was the last one. So Darren Moore needs to get the right team, the right tactics. And we need to start picking points up at places like Barnsley. So I can't see whether the team that he's going to pick, I can't see is winning. But what I'm hoping for and what I think it'd be one each. And hopefully we don't go a goal behind, because our record coming from a goal behind is horrific. So, fingers crossed. And we move on to Saturday and let's see how it goes. So thanks very much for listening. Please like, please subscribe, and more importantly, up the Vale.